Scott has the job on Buckley. That should be a big one. So here we go in the bounce. Buckley in the thick of things already. Got the hand pass out. Scott tried to get the kick. Kerrison couldn't. Russell a hurried one down towards centre wing. It's on centre wing at the moment. Now a chance for young Armott. Gets his first kick. That'll be a confidence booster. Down towards Rocker. Playing in front but unable to take the mark. And it's the Bears who tidy up through Craig McRae, the former Bay player in South Australia. Got the hand pass away. Out to the outer side they go, but only as far as Scott Burns. Burns up towards the half-forward line. Rocker again in a big pack of players. No one able to take it cleanly. The Bears through Scott may clear. Christopher Scott, Norwich Rising Star champ, goes up towards the half-forward line. It bounces across the top. Out the back it comes. Pressure now on the defence. And it's Richardson who clears for Collingwood. He goes to the outer side. They've got a little bit of space and it's Nathan Buckley up against his old side. He'll be keen to impress today. Gets it away towards Scotty Russell. Russell goes up towards half-forward, but it's the Bears again standing in the way, and it's Gilbert McAdam. McAdam drifts it across, and it's Fletcher who goes up towards centre wing, but again Buckley the stumbling block.
Nathan Buckley goes across. Good play by Hart.
You've still got a problem, KB, but we'll still work on it. As the Bears through Lappin. Goes over towards Clark. Clark gets it across to McRae. McRae gets a hurry kick up towards the forward line. Ashcroft comes out and he marks on 50.
We have Marcus Ashcroft opening up in the forward pocket against Johnny Hassel, and certainly a good move there into that half-forward line from the Bears. It's a very strong defence from the Collingwood side as they move the ball on back out towards Richardson at half-back. Pushing through. Darryl White now has it with Paul Williams breaking through.
Here's Williams. He gets the hand pass away, or he put Krasiska under the hammer, so Clark comes through and he gets it away to Hart. The Bears a chance now. Hart is told to go forward. He goes with a long kick down towards goal. Was it touched? I don't think so. Sean Hart hasn't missed a game this year, and he gets his first goal.
What a great start there from the Brisbane Bears with Sean Hart really working hard. Paul Williams has been in very good form here, but just enough pressure through the midfield there. Big Matthew Clark, the quick hands, and Hart finding enough room through this half-forward line to straighten up. And a goal kicker he has been with those 5 goals in round 6 against Essendon. Just the start the Bears wanted.
So just about set to go in the middle again. Good start by the Bears, and it's Clark who sends them forward. Down towards big Roger Merritt. With him is Gary Pert, and it's Pert who chances his arm. Only as far as Voss, however. Voss's hand pass in towards the middle. Williams under pressure. Loses it. Out it comes. The hand pass shot from Lambert. They're going to go in for another one. 2 quickies to Brisbane. So a great start for the Bears. And Michael Voss has kicked his first.
Well, Robert Walls has sent the side out well and truly fired up. It's a big occasion for the Bears. Robert Walls, a 300th game, and Roger Merritt, 100th game as captain of the club. But their ability to be able to spin the ball through the midfield has been very good, and the 2 very fine players, and Michael Voss playing at centre half forward, the one who was able to finish that one off.
Well, a great start by the Brisbane Bears, and Clark jumping high over the top of Monkhorst. Here's a chance. Collingwood coming through. Burns been thrown to the ground. Voss, who's just kicked a great goal on the half-forward flank. Good play by Kennedy into open space. Hassel there for Collingwood. Wants to take it over the line, then does well. Transfers the ball back to Butcher. So he's got support here from Watson on the half-back line, and Collingwood running the ball out with Wright, who's been superb this year, and Paul Williams. Well, arguably Collingwood's best player. Big chance for the middle this year. Kicks to space, running onto it is the skipper. Brown, good hands, great vision. Back to Richardson, kicks into the pocket, looking for Rocker. 2 wide, and a boundary throw-in.
This is a great matchup for Nathan Chapman here with Severio Rocker, the young man who's been asked to do this job. Rocker in great form, but Chapman certainly has been a good player in the last 6 games playing in defence.
Let's have a look at the weather, because it's a magnificent day here in Brisbane. Fine and sunny. We're expecting a top of 23, and we're not far off that as it's belted over the line in towards the new stand area here at the Gabba once again. Going to be a marvellous complex when it is finished. There's Darryl White, an excitement machine when he's going.
Sandy lining up centre half back on Mark Richardson this week.
And we're going to have the same procedure take place again because that goes over the line. Scotty Russell, and there's the Magpies bench.
Brad Rowe there we see with Aaron James and also Chrissy Curran.
From the throw in. Close to the line once more, so a stalemate down in Collingwood's right forward pocket. They haven't scored as yet. The Bears, on the other hand, have kicked a couple. One from Sean Hart, the other from Michael Voss. And Collingwood, well, they've got a very good record against Brisbane. But in these conditions today, particularly come the second half, anything could happen. A warm day. Armat had it for a moment, but then lost it. Clark also. Pushed wide towards the boundary line. Buckley a chance. Very close to the line is Nathan Buckley, but he's had a pretty good start. That one's close to out on the full, however. And it is. So Andy Gowers will bring it back into play. Looking for a job as a sportscaster. There's Andy. We wish him well. Richardson spoils Kennedy at the back. Lappin waiting down in front. There's a chance through Kennedy again. He wobbles one down towards centre wing. Krasiska's been in sensational form for Collingwood all year. Kerrison tries to push the ball along in front. Doesn't get very far, however. It is repelled. Now Monkhorst, the big monkey, gets a chance to go over the top towards Scotty Russell. Russell's got a player some 10 or 15 metres further down. Gets it away. That was Patterson. Now it's Clark. Clark goes over the top. The Bears starting with great determination, hoping to celebrate Robert Wall's 300th game as coach. There was some holding on going on there, and it's going the way of Kennedy, just forward of centre wing. A flat-looking punt kick by Kennedy. Pert doesn't try to mark, just tried to fist it defensively away. It heads towards Krasiska and then over the line.
We can see the Brisbane Bears bench, Scott McIver, Dion Scott and young Akamanis there in his first year of league football. Very promising young player. Trent Bartlett pushing and shoving. Youngster in his second game of league football from Deloraine, number 36 for the Bears, giving away the free kick to Krasiska.
Had a great debut.
Against Geelong, very, very good. Robert Wall's very impressed. We see Clark takes the front position in front of Monkhorst.
Only natural, I suppose, with a surname like that.
Should have number 29 on his back. What are they doing up here? Krasiska, Bartlett going in very hard. Strong play, trying to crash his way through. Down there was Alan Richardson, who's been pinged.
Kevin, they've been impressive in these opening minutes. The Brisbane Bears are very physical at the ball, and also the Collingwood opponent once they get it, and well rewarded there for what was a fine tackle.
Adrian Fletcher, the highest possession winner for the Bears this year, nearly 28 possessions per game. And we see Chris Scott has got the tagging job today on Nathan Buckley. And Buse comes in and crashes also into Buckley as Fletcher kicks from 50. For the Bears, a beautiful looking kick, and he's kicked a goal.
The aggressiveness of the Bears has certainly rocked Collingwood in this early part of the game. Their ability to be able to drive in hard at all contests. The defence has been very sound. Michael McLean taking Robbie Armat across half-back, but it was this shot at goal from Fletcher, playing in the centre, drifting down, strong tackle, and an excellent kick for goal.
An excellent start by Brisbane, 3 straight. The Pies have been in attack only a couple of times, and it's going to be repelled again by Buse, who goes wide out towards McAdam. Got away from Brown, a sweeping hand passes by Gowers. Back down towards the half-back flank region. They've got the numbers. White there. Oh, he's clever, and he's exciting to watch. Look at that little chip up towards centre wing. Darryl White, an excellent player. And Voss too, most exciting. Drifts it into the centre. And Clark takes the mark. Going to be a good duel, that one. Here and Monkhorst up towards the half-forward line. At the moment, the Bears playing in front and certainly looking the goods. Bartlett. Short.
Terrible call from the umpire. I mean, all the boy was wanting to do was to move forward to take his kick, and he's been tackled from behind. No, surely umpire, the man should have the time to be able to get back and have his kick.
There's the president of Collingwood, Alan McAllister. Well, he loves the Pies with them always, and there's a lot of behind the play stuff going on here too at the moment. Scott and Buckley having a little bit of a how do you do. In fact, the ball is being brought back to Buckley, and he's going to receive one after a little bit of goings on behind play. Nathan Buckley at halfback. Ah, yes. The Bears fans remember him. He drifted out towards a centre wing. This time they're in front. Richardson looks down towards half forward. He'll want a rock, or he may go short. He does. But chipping in is Magic McLean.
What a superb player. Gets the ball across to Buse. Former Geelong skipper, and the kick's a shocker, but White does well to try and keep it in play. In fact, it's been deemed out of bounds on the full. So young Robbie Ahmad in his first game of league football hails from Darwin. So he centres the ball towards the true centre-half forward position. Rocker tries to take a one-hander. Brown, deft skills out of the pack. Buckley's got a chance to kick a goal, and does.
Well, this is a big stage for Nathan Buckley, isn't it, to return to the Brisbane home ground. He was here last year in the defeat and did quite well, but here he is again, and it's been a very good duel to date with Chris Scott, and I think they'll stick with that one right throughout. Here we see the clash here between Rocker and Chapman, and there's a little bit of concern about the strength that Rocker may have there, but Gavin Brown playing at half forward, very quick hands. Buckley on the burst as per usual.
So the Pies on the board as a big monkey comes over the top. Kerrison has it fisted away from him, and it's Gavin Brown who picks it up towards half forward. Belted down towards McLean. Couldn't take it, and the one grab. White applies the tackle. The ball was almost dropped. Buckley in there again, and he swung a full 360. Gets it to Russell. He could have been leg. Nope, said the umpire. Play on. This opens the door for Marcus Ashcroft. He gets it away to Gowes, and the Bears are out of trouble. Wide to the outer side towards Nigel Lappin. Had a bit of time, a little bit of space. Gowes is there to assist. The Bears go forward, deep in towards the 50. Fletcher drops back, couldn't quite take the mark. Collingwood now have the numbers. Richardson foiled at the first attempt. Goes in for another one, and it's socket off the ground by Trent Butcher. Up towards the middle it goes. Krasiska picks it up. Gavin Krasiska, one of the best so far this season. Gowes has given away a free kick. Buckley again will send them forward. And he heads straight for home with a long drop punt. No one there, but he's off target. One behind, 1-1.
So Robert Walls has decided to go with the tags here. Chris Scott with Nathan Buckley, Sean Hart with Paul Williams, and he's alternating Fletcher and Lambert as Rovers out of the forward pocket.
So young Chapman to bring the ball back into play. Former winner of Sun Kick, so he should be able to roost the ball, and this is a beautiful kick. White, big jump by Darryl White. Tremendous grab. Got loose players wide. Sean Hart's had a terrific season. Played every game for the Bears. Gets plenty of support from Chris Scott. And he's found down here is Gilbert McAdam, who's had a sensational year playing off half-back, and he's on the half-forward line. It's a long snap. He's off target. Just a minor score. Been superb across half-back this year since he's been moved there. Former Magarey medal winner in South Australia. Former Saint, but just finding his niche now across in defence.
Kick back into play, and Monkey doesn't let them down. Away he goes to Graham Wright. Wright's away on the outer side towards centre wing. There's a good mark. Gowes it was. Towards half forward once again. In fact, back towards Monkhorst. Some fancy work by Monkey. Back in towards the middle, and this time finds his mark in Gavin Krasiska. Krasiska up towards half forward. Now it's the Pies' turn to run. They've got a chance here from just 45 metres out, but it's away to the left and one behind only from the man who was in doubt, Paul Williams. Wrist problems in recent times.
He's quick when he gets it though, isn't he? He
like
can
lightning.
take off, and that's the sort of pace that Collingwood are going to need on this particular ground here this afternoon.
Yes, it's going to be very, very interesting come second half to see what this heat does, what it takes out of the body and out of their legs, more importantly. White has picked up a ton of touches very early on, but it's a Docker-like run out of defence. as far as the Bears are concerned this time. Back towards centre wing. McRae got the call and did it nicely to Marcus Ashcroft. Away goes Ashcroft. A couple of bounces from 55 metres. Set sail for home with a long drop punt. Got a touch right on the line, did Alan Richardson in his 102nd game, and it's one behind. 3-2, plays 1-2.
Robert Wall's up there in the stand. He'd be pretty happy with the start of the Bears. Right on the half-back line. Always carries the ball well for Collingwood. Watson on the half-forward flank. Goes short. Big Mark Richardson's his target. Very important player for Collingwood if Richardson can fill centre-half forward. Goes short, and Robbie Armat just couldn't hold the share, and Rocker does well to kick it off the ground. Patterson with a quick snap, but rushed through down there by Magic McLean. Wasted opportunity that time, Terry.
It was. As they drove forward, young Robbie Armat found himself to be in the front position, not able to take it, but Rocker doing some good work at ground level, giving the opportunity.
So Chapman kicks out wide. His target is going to be out here, Clark, but good fist to the ball by Richardson. Tremendous play by Brown. And Monkhorst goes short and finds Williams, who's been Collingwood's best player this year. I think he's a big chance for the medal. Exciting player. Rocker makes the lead. He's got a loose man out wide. Wrights down from the half-back line. He can run in and kick a goal. No. He's going to have a set shot.
That's dangerous marking there as Wright was able to get on down the ground. It's young McRae, who's his direct opponent, playing across the wing, and he needs to ensure that he's tighter than that as Collingwood push forward.
Well, when he first came to Collingwood, Graham Wright played his first season of league football as a permanent forward pocket player. Kicked a lot of goals in that first season. Can he kick them now as a half-back flanker? 40 metres out. He has.
Well, goals for Graham Wright have been pretty far and few between this year. That's only his second goal for the year, kicking his first back in round 10 against Fitzroy. But has overcome an early season ankle injury, missing the first 2 games, and is a very valuable player. And you know, he will be sadly tested here this afternoon in his feet against this young man playing on the wing.
Well, the Bears made the early running. Collingwood now hit back. Graham Wright getting his first. Clark wins it out of the middle, and the Bears should go forward. Only probably 5 or 6 metres, though, out of the centre. It's 3-2, playing 2-3. 5 points the margin in favour of the Bears.
Sandy, if the breeze was favouring any end, I'd suggest it's going with Collingwood at this stage.
Yep. Yes, ever so slightly. Certainly not a strong breeze. It's a warm, sunny day as Monkhorst wins a big tap down towards Patterson, who was playing in front but couldn't snare it. Russell tries to pounce upon it. Out it comes, however, to Hart. Now he's got a bit of space here. He can set it up. Gowes has a look down towards the forward line. He wants Roger. Was he held? No, said the umpire. Play on. Collingwood out of trouble, but only as far as Gowes once again. He started well, Andy Gowes. Centering kick in towards half forward. Richardson came over the top of Kennedy. A little too far, a little too enthusiastic, and he's given away the free kick. Kennedy, well, he can kick a ball if he gets onto it, but he's going into this slight breeze. Flat-looking drop punt again towards Merritt. He's got to try and beat a couple. Can't do so. Attempting to clear is Scotty Burns, wearing 17 for Collingwood. They lock it up at half forward, and there'll be another bounce.
Brisbane certainly playing their style of play at this early stage. They've had 28 handballs compared to Collingwood just 13. Bears always prepared to spin the ball around in the centre of the ring. 5 points the margin. Monkey stands his ground. Clark's away! He snaps. He pulls it a little too far. And the one behind.
Lee Matthews up there in the coach's box, looking very pensive. Ron Richards there beside him.
Looking very summary.
So Perch Shorten finds Kent Butcher in the back pocket. Looks like he might have been an extra on the movie Schindler's List.
Well, you would have been in it too.
So a free kick has been paid, and it's going to big Damien Monkhorst. It's going to be a terrific battle today against Matty Clark, who was rejected by Richmond Went back to South Adelaide and then picked up by the Bears. He's been one of the best players for Brisbane Bears since coming north. So it's into the direction here of Mark Richardson. Oh, big pack of players. White went over the top. Free kicks being played here to Richardson. Up before acceptances. It's been pretty handy in this opening term. Got big raps on him down at Collingwood. Out in front. Rocker's in front. Tremendous presence by Rocker this year. 61 goals. Reminds me of a young Tony Lockett.
There's great space created in front of Severio Rocker there by the Collingwood forward line. Always providing it and led into it very well.
His kicking has been superb this year. 55 metres out. Distance not a worry. Accuracy is.
Without doubt, Severio Rocker is the key to this game. As the heat takes hold upon the players in the midfield, his ability to be able to stand tall, particularly against Nathan Chapman, if he's going to be his marker all day, will be important.
I think Brisbane had the feeling that if Champion did play, they were a very big chance because they felt that he may have had the strength to control Rocker. But of course he's not. It's a different ball game. The ball is on the outer wing. McRae and Fletcher see it close to the boundary line. Fletcher watches it go over.
The key to that matchup, Sandy, will be that Nathan Chapman doesn't get into a wrestling match with Severio Rocker. Yep. He's just going to be too big and too strong for him. Just needs to be able to step off him and jump at the appropriate time to spoil.
Under 5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. First portion of it belonging to the Bears. Clark tries to get the hand pass away. He's successful. But that hand pass is a little too wide and it goes over the line. Collingwood, of course, have then hit back with goals from Nathan Buckley, Graham Wright, and now very little in it. Clark and Monkhorst jostling, neither able to get an effective winning tap, and another bounce on that outer side. Bit of wrestling with Graham Wright.
Chris Scott there had the job earlier on Nathan Buckley in a couple of altercations.
Well, his father figure was Roger Merritt, so he'll have plenty of fire in him, plenty of aggression, and plenty of enthusiasm. As we have another throw-in. Things warming up a bit. Plenty of pushing and shoving, and that's all it is at the moment. And now the umpire's plucked one out, and it's gone the way of Collingwood to be taken by Monkhorst. Up towards half forward. Oh, plenty of pushing and shoving in that pack. This time it's going against the Pies. And they're out of trouble. Away comes White. That chip hand pass over the top is good towards McLean. He runs it out to Fletcher on centre wing. Fletcher sweeps the hand pass inside towards the running McRae. The former Glenelg star goes in towards full forward, but he blazes away to the left. And he's out of bounds on the full.
Unfortunate that McRae could have really made Graham Wright pay, and that's what he needs to be able to do, stretch him from one side of the ground to the other.
So Pert with Brown setting himself, Chris Siska from behind, but too tall that time was Kennedy. They look a little bit quicker than Collingwood at the moment, Terry. Moving the ball very, very well. Kennedy's a thumping kick. His dad played for St Kilda. Dares into the goal square. One for the high flyers. Ground level. Chance for Bartlett. Gets it back to Ashcroft. Can he control the ball? Could have got one in the back. Holding the ball. So Butcher transfers the ball wide to the outer side of the ground. Poor kick. Monkhorst going crook. We wanted better than that.
A good move by Robert Walls. He's brought Ackermanis in onto the forward pocket. I think he needs to be there roving underneath the contest provided by Roger Merritt.
Here are the odds for today's game. Williams. Oh, look at him. He's like lightning. Gets the hand pass away. Russell floats another one towards Gavin Brown. The skipper's on the half-back flank. He chips up towards centre wing. They can start something here. Nathan Buckley's kicked one goal. He will put them inside 50, but poorly directed on that occasion. McLean defends, goes back towards the centre, and Ashcroft takes the mark. Marcus Ashcroft, a worm burner, towards Gowes, who's had a busy first quarter. He kicks to half forward. Merritt in front's got to beat a couple. And again it spills to the back and the race is on. Collingwood should have the numbers. Butcher will get the advantage. There was one high behind play. Ken Butcher gets it off towards Hassel. Hassel's on half back. Looks down towards centre wing. Down towards his skipper. But it's fisted away from him. And towards the boundary line, it eventually wobbles over.
It's a great half-back line at the moment for the Bears. Gowers, White and McLean repelling the Collingwood attacks so very well.
And Andrew Gowers a much better player when he's not playing key position. Kerrison heads for the boundary line. So does Magic McLean and forces it over.
Yes, Evan, I think the Bears, if they can recruit another tall key defender, they're caught here with Chapman at full back and White at centre half back. They really are looking for that big defender.
So Richardson to the front of the pack. Kerrison just with a little toe poke over the line. I know coming up with several Collingwood officials, they're very concerned after half-time with the weather.
Yep.
They believe that they've got to get away to a good start because most of the sides do wilt with the heat and humidity. Close to 24 degrees in Brisbane today. Lambert has got Russell as his shadow over the top of the ball.
Mind you, I believe earlier in the week it was almost 30, so conditions have cooled a little.
Been a very disappointing year for Craig Lambert, breaking his leg in an Ansett Cup match against North Melbourne. He's had a pin inserted into his leg. They've also lost Lynch, so the Bears have been without some of their good players. Fletcher's been outstanding this year. Terrific play by Butcher. And with good vision, gets it back to Krasiska. Also hit after he kicked the ball, so paid downfield as well as the mark. Krasiska's also had an outstanding year. And that's a wonderfully weighted kick up towards Watson. He's been moved from the half-back line to the half-forward line to give a little bit more goal-kicking power. The lead's on from Buckley, who's been a star in the first term. Gowers. Indiscreet hand pass taken by Armat. Didn't find his target. Brown with quick vision. Back to Patterson. High bomb. Here's a chance for Rockers out in front. Good fist away by Chapman. Ground level. McLean's been superb for the Bears. Brown chipping in. Takes a good grab.
He's on right half forward, but still outside 50. Still a long way from home. Gavin Brown. Some loose checking there. Richardson marks. 55 out. If anything, a very slight breeze favouring the Pies. Just a zephyr. In towards half forward. Oh, one-hander by Williams.
Dangerously just floating into that forward line, bobbing up at the most opportune moments. And that was a very good mark to be able to take him there, as we'll have this shot now after the siren.
Well, he's kicked 97 goals in his career. And this one for Collingwood to hit the front after the siren. Paul Williams, one of the Pies' best this year. Slow in his approach. Distance not a problem. He's 40 out and he's drilled it, and the Pies hit back. They hit the lead. It's quarter time here at the Gabba. And at quarter time, Collingwood leads by 1 point. So here we go. Start of the second quarter here at the Gabba. Monkhorst looking to win it. Can't take it away from the middle. Kennedy leaves it for Hart, who gets a high kick down towards Voss on left half forward. Kicked a goal in the first quarter, but he's claimed and he's gone. Good tackle. Buckley takes the hand pass. Pumps one high towards centre wing. Nathan Buckley had a pretty good first quarter, so too did Williams. Came into the game with a question mark hanging over him, fitness-wise, because of that wrist. But is okay. Patterson soccers off the ground, down towards the forward line. Defending, however, is Nathan Chapman. Into the middle. Krasiska comes over with a mighty fist, as good as a kick, down towards Watson on half forward. He couldn't take it cleanly, but they've got plenty of support. It's chipped towards Rocker. He's 25 out. A hand pass in towards Armat. He leaves it for his teammate in Watson, who goes. That is the start Collingwood wanted. Shane Watson gets his first, and the Pies go 7 points clear.
What a great piece of defensive work by Gavin Krasiska. Chapman did well to meet the ball early, kicked it out, and this is where Krasiska's spoilt finished. It was a good 40-metre one, and Collingwood able to spin it around again. Rocker making ground in front of the goals. The quick hands, Armat or Watson, raffle it. It was Shane Watson in the end.
Would have been nice to see the young boy Robbie Armat kick his first goal in league football. But he's still got plenty of chances. So Buckley out of the centre square. Looks down here, coming out was Gavin Brown. Good punch away by Gowers. McAdams going to be shepherded off the ball by Watson. Good play, son. Picked up by the skipper, Brown. He's got a chance to feed it off. He does so to Wright. And Wright with a daisy cutter pass once more finds Buckley.
He's been hot, Buckley, hasn't he?
Been superb and beautiful kick by Buckley. Great vision to Mark Richardson, who is usually a very, very good shot for goal. He's had a lot of injuries during his career, stress fractures of the feet. Really has struggled to get fit. Son of Wayne Richardson, one of the all-time greats of Collingwood. So from 45 metres out, he's got a chance to put Collingwood's second goal on the board in the first 3 minutes, but it's a very poor kick, across the face of goals, and just a minor score. There's a Collingwood bench down there. We see Brad Rowe, Chrissy Curran and Aaron James still on the bench for the Pies.
Collingwood doing all the attacking early on in the second quarter. McLean takes the kick out, and away goes the Magic Man. Shepherding sees him clear around Russell. He goes, kicks in towards the centre. It's low, but Brown, it's the one who takes it. He gives it away to Gavin Krasiska. Krasiska chips down the forward line. Armat called out by Watson, and Watson takes it at the back again.
Bears were caught out on the rebound there. The Alan Richardson spoil and quick return after Trent Bartlett held front position has now given Shane Watson this shot at goal.
Well, he's going to be kicking from 47 metres. As Matty Campbell said, really no breeze now to speak of, and he guides that straight through the middle. Very good start by Collingwood in this second quarter, and particularly by Shane Watson, who's booted two.
And probably more known as a half-back flanker over latter years after beginning his career as a forward with Collingwood, and certainly knows how to kick a goal. Both goals now have been good. The one at ground level, quick hands in the snap earlier, and then that shot at goal. Kicking these first two goals has been just the start Collingwood needed.
Well, Clark with a terrific tap out down to Fletcher. Chance now straight away from Scott to answer back for the Bears. It's going to bounce through. No, it won't. Unfortunate for the Bears. Just didn't have that Shane Warne turn. Chris Scott there, number 22. Norwich Rising Star of last year. So Pert kicks out wide and finds Butcher. The half-back flank on the outer side of the ground. Collingwood lead 5-5-35, Brisbane 3-4-22. So the Pies, after a bit of a tardy start, starting to get back into play. Kennedy gets the ball across well. Lappin comes away, only in his second year of league football. Low pass. Burns has got a chance at the back of the pack. It's been good since coming across from Norwood. So the Pies with the numbers. Pert's going to go over the top. He's got plenty of support. Richardson now back here to Pert.
Got a paddock.
So the old 1-2, and he just comes away cool as a cucumber. And Pert just pops it up to Brown, who's very strong overhead. Good punch away by Gowers. Well rode by Armat's been pretty impressive in his first game. Down to Rocker, pushing and shoving. Too strong. Big Severio, just too strong, and I think you mentioned earlier, Terry, that maybe this is going to be a problem for young Nathan Chapman.
It is. This is a great kick by young Armat, tossing it up in the air, but just look at the strength there. Just as the ball got within the 5 metre distance, was able to push young Chapman right out of the way.
61 goals for the year. He's kicked 15 goals in his last 2 games. Certain arrogance about his play these days. Not said in the unkindest way, but just in the way that he has got tremendous confidence now in his ability, and he's popped through his first goal in the Magpies' 6th.
Well, it has been the Collingwood forward line that have made the difference here. The Gavin Brown starting to make a real contest across half forward and getting the ball to the ground. Armat starting to get into it after being held early by Michael McLean. But the run from Gary Pert out of defence, and a good piece of roving here. But Severio Rocker, again, will hold the key right throughout here. Chapman will continue on for a while, but Dion Scott sitting on the bench would be next man in line, I would suggest.
So back in the middle once more. It's been the Pies quarter so far. Voss rips it out of the centre for the Bears. Goes down towards half forward. They need one badly. Ashcroft tries to tap over the top, but Gary Pert defends and defends well. So a throw in front of the new stand, which is currently under construction and I believe on schedule, which is good news. Oh, Voss shows real class. He gives it towards Ashcroft, who chips it up towards the forward line. Here's a goal for Clark if he can get clear. He can't get clear, but he can give it away. And there's a behind because it was touched. Touched right on the line, Sean Hart, I'm sorry to say. So he doesn't add to his goal in the first quarter. Hasn't missed a game this year.
Some great pressure in there, though, wasn't there?
Yep.
Krasiska's tackle and then Butcher coming right to the line.
So the goal they wanted so badly, not forthcoming at the moment. Williams takes it from Monkhorst. Look out because Voss is there, but Williams is away. The racehorse charges in towards half forward. Watson on all fours, but he manages to get the hand pass away to Russell. He pops another one over the top there down towards right half forward. Could have almost been a Bears free kick for holding, but no, the umpire says play on. Russell takes it out of the air. It's high. Into the pocket it goes. Gowes comes over the top and affects the spoil. Collingwood supporters, well, the army travels a long way and they're everywhere. Full house here today of some 13,000. Many have made the journey north. Many, of course, reside here. Richardson tries to pluck it out of the air. Russell goes to ground. Play is allowed to go on, and that's well done. Away comes Bewes. He drifts it in towards the centre. He finds McRae. Craig McRae goes back onto the left foot. He kicks long, and there's going to be a free kick. Holding on to Big Roger. And Merritt is going to have it in front of the scoreboard here at the Gabba. 40 out, and not a tight angle.
Well, Big Roger, whether the free kick was there or not, I'm unsure, but well rewarded for being in the front position. Any player who's going to play it full forward must surely take that to be the best position, either for the mark or for the free kick, and Roger was rewarded for that.
It's been very accurate this year. He's kicked 25-5. A career tally of 392, so approaching the 400. And if he has a big day today, who knows? He's got that one. So Merritt gets his first and a much-needed goal for Brisbane, who hit back 4-5, plays 6-5.
Most important goal, Sandy, in light of Collingwood having kicked the last 6 goals, 3 to win the first quarter and then 3 to open this one, and the Bears needed to pull it back, and the captain playing the front position had that opportunity and slotting through his 26th goal for the year.
And the breeze has really sprung up here at the Gabba, favouring the Brisbane Bears in this second term. Williams dispossessed. Brown with his 10th possession, but taken away here by Gowers, his opponent. It's a long bomb.
You kick it.
Is it going to bounce through? It has. No, it's been touched on the line. It's been a great duel there between Gowers, number 8, and Brown. 10 possessions each. So Pert kicks out wide looking for Krasiska. Hart pounces on the ball. Usually can kick a goal on the left boot.
And has.
Here's a magnificent kick, Sean Hart. That's his second.
Gee, it's amazing, isn't it, how a team can all of a sudden get itself a lift up, and it just seems that is the case here with Brisbane just a moment. Great piece of play by Voss, pushing himself back into the contest, and Sean Hart, the running Sean Hart, and has now kicked his second goal in that fashion here today, running on to 50.
So back in the middle once again. 5-6 plays 6-5. Don't know about that breeze really springing up, KB. Those
well, it did.
flags are as limp as anything. Right from the centre. Drifts it towards the half-forward line. Gavin Brown, clear this time. Floats it up towards Rocker. Severio Rocker kicked one just a few minutes ago. has 62 for the year. Their margin at the moment is 5 points. And from 52 metres, he now makes the margin 11 points. Good goal. Good goal by Severio Rocca. As Monkhorst heads to the bench for a spell and the phone.
I think that's an important move there, just being able to give Monkhorst the break and Mark Richardson going to the ruck for the while. But here they rest control back. Gavin Brown's been exceptional in this quarter. Nathan Buckley started it off for Collingwood in the first, and it seems that Gavin Brown has now taken over that mantle. But Severio Rocca slotting through his second goal.
So Clark in the ruck against Richardson. He's made that move, Lee Matthews. Williams with great hands. Scotty Russell. Chance for Rockets, going to hit him on the chest. Tremendous play out of the centre by the Pies. It'll be interesting to see how long Robert Walls will persist with Nathan Chapman.
Well, I think Kevin, he needs to make the move now, because Nathan Chapman is too good a player to allow his confidence to get too low in this game. He can still move Nathan Chapman, get value out of him, and perhaps bring Dion Scott on to fullback.
Well, we see Robert Walls on the phone now, so he may be going to make that move. So Rocca from point blank range. Kicks his third.
And here it is here. Very quick work here by Collingwood. They're good in close, just being able to keep the ball alive there. A foot, a quick knock on by hand. And that's very important inside a contest, that the ball always be kept alive. And finally it was Scotty Russell that came through to be able to hit big Severio Rocca on the lead right in front.
So Collingwood again skipping clear, 8-5, plays 5-6 out of the middle. They try and go again, but this time it's Clark who's got the opportunity for the Bears. From a standing start, he pumps it high, very high, down towards half forward. No one able to take it cleanly. Pert was taken high and should receive a free kick. So the ball will go back to Gary Pert. He's tucked in the shadows, gets the hand pass away, and they'll get out of trouble. Richardson over the top towards Krasiska. He looks towards Richardson and Clark. At the back is Buckley. Oh, clever play by Buckley to tap it out to Richardson. That was very clever. Bartlett and Lambert. Lambert gets it away to White. White chips into the middle and the mark is taken by Ashcroft. The Bears want a couple to steady here. Ashcroft kicks down towards half forward over the head of McRae, but he's got support in the form of Fletcher. McRae runs the boundary line. He's tucked on the boundary line. Goes for the centering kick, but it's all Collingwood. And once again they defend, this time through Scotty Burns in just his 14th game. Gets it away and they're out of trouble. Score at the moment sees Collingwood 8-5, leading Brisbane 5-6. Krasiska claimed. Now goes in over the top, trying to bottle it up on centre wing. Another bounce. In light of what happened yesterday with the clash between Sydney and North Melbourne, a win here, the 4 points, just so important to both sides. If they're going to figure in the September action. Seeing it over the line was young Armat. Disco, they call him. He turns 18 next Wednesday. We'll be doing a little bit of dancing on that night, won't he?
So pushing and shoving between Richardson and also Clark. Neither could get a good clean tap. Stacks on the mill and a ball up. Andrew Buse just tucking in the shorts. So Richardson this time just wins the tap. Buse there with a chance. Free kick's going to be paid.
Ashcroft.
And Ashcroft will take it for the Bears. Originally from Victoria, but claimed by Brisbane. So merits his target. He's got 2 to beat. Back of the pack. Good play by McRae. Quick snap. Trent Bartlett, just in his second game unable to really take control. Aaron James on his hands and knees. Buckley does well to get the ball out to Richardson, who kicks it off the ground. Ball ricochets back. Good strong play by Richardson. Gets it back to Buckley, who kicks it as far as he can out of trouble. Buse there. Great play by Ahmad. Does well against the experienced Buse. Then back here to Hassel. Been superb in the back line. Played every game this year for the Pies, and he finds Watson. Certainly has given the forward line more bite. Shane Watson. A long bomb into the goals. James there gets his hands to the ball. Can't hold it. And through for a point.
That kick was always on. Aaron James floating in from the other half-forward flank, and perhaps Shane Watson, all he needed to do was just toss it up on top of the goal square and let James have a go at it.
Lee Matthews looking for a handy lead at half-time as Buse prepares to bring it back into play. He's got a birthday next Wednesday as well, but he doesn't turn 18, he turns 31. The veteran. There's a tackle too high, and there'll be a free kick to Rowe. Wants to go on with the job quickly, centering towards Wright. Graham Wright directly in front, but 50 out. And kicking into just a slight breeze. Graham Wright kicked one in the first term. Let's see what he can do. This is his 144th game for the Pies, and he's gone for distance, and in doing so he's pulled it away ever so slightly to the left for one behind. 5-6 plays 8-7. So the margin now out to 19 points. Buckley stands his ground. He does well. Just a little chip over the top, and he finds Scotty Russell. Russell from 46 metres. He's away to the right, and another behind. Well, a couple of opportunities going begging, Terry.
They are, and you just called. Great piece of work there by Nathan Buckley to stand his ground in that marking contest as Darryl White came towards him. But Scotty Russell, a renowned goal kicker for mine, and should have made better of that.
So Chapman goes short. It's a poor option. McLean couldn't take it. Chance now here for Collingwood. Can they make him pay a free kick holding the man? Will go to Shane Watson. So what a poor kick out by Chapman. Maybe a little bit rattled with the 3 goals by Rocker, trying to do a little too much.
Yes, I think that's a fair call. And Shane Watson has slotted into this forward flank and forward pocket so very well in the absence of Dermot Brereton. Collingwood needed to maintain that structure around Severio Rocker where he can, and Shane Watson has fulfilled it well to this stage.
So Watson moves in. He's kicked 2 in this quarter. He's off target again. Well, he started his career as a full forward at Collingwood and looked pretty promising. He was a bit frail in the early days and got knocked out of the way. Then he was put to the half-back line and really blossomed, you know, catching the eye of the state selectors. I think it's a good move to put him back. Richardson, too tall, too strong that time for Dion Scott, who's come off the bench. Now, loose men everywhere for Collingwood. Aaron James got a chance to go over the top to Buckley. Now he'll kick it long. It's a big bomb from Nathan Buckley. What a great goal.
That was a great goal from Nathan Buckley, and if we think back to the drawn game at the MCG in the last stages of the game, Buckley outside 50, instead of having a shot at goal like that one, it decided to go short and I think cost the game. Nathan Buckley showed here exactly what he can do from running onto 50 and slot it through. That day he should have done it. This time, no hesitation, straight through.
A great goal from 55 metres by Nathan Buckley. This time it's Dion Scott who gets it down to half forward towards Ashcroft. He had it but only for a moment, and it's on their 50-metre line. Flicked out. A chance for the Pies to repel. They'll need to through Scotty Burns, but he's under pressure. Kerrison also pops one up in the air. Down it comes. Trying to surge his way through was McIver. Gets the hand pass away. They need a goal desperately. It's flicked in towards the pocket. Wright is there for Collingwood. He's got plenty of support. So too Burns. He gets a hurried kick towards the half-back line. Losing his footing on that occasion was Scotty Russell, and there's been a free kick that's going to come back. Well, he'll let it go. He'll let it go to Fletcher. The advantage. And Fletcher is Well, he's going to be kicking from 55. It's too far for him, so he chips into the pocket. It had to be perfectly weighted, and it was. And Craig McRae, the man they call Fly, is going to have a shot.
Should suit the left footer from this side of the ground. He's a very, very good kick, and I'd be quite confident in backing him here.
Has played every game this year. Been a very good performance since coming from South Australia. But this time just one behind.
Young Ackermanis on the bench there, just stretching. So Pert decides to go for a run out of defence. It's a long bomb down to Williams from behind, couldn't take it. Lambert, just lacking match practice, overruns the ball. Now it comes back to him with that great handball. Finds Fletcher. So he's put in front here of Merritt. Oh, courageous play down there, cutting across Alan Richardson. So Pert now takes it for the Pies, transfers it to the outer side of the ground, and Johnny Hassell's off and running. He's on full throttle. Runs to the half-back flank, just chips it across, running on the ball, needs a kind bounce down there, was right, didn't get it. Well picked up by Kennedy, but a free kick is being paid and it's going to come back to Collingwood, and Graham Wright will take it. But unhappy about that, the Bears supporters.
Well, the free kick stand at 15 to Collingwood and 7 to Brisbane Bears at this particular stage. And it was interesting during the week where statistics showed that Collingwood are the most favoured side by the umpires.
So Wright goes forward and Buckley comes out, takes the mark, and 50 metres. 15 possessions already for Nathan Buckley, and Chris Scott's been a little bit aggro today. He's had a couple of confrontations with several Collingwood players and just got to cool it. You can't go giving away 50 metres, and this is a great chance it's going to cost them a goal.
That's right. I mean, you should never let yourself get involved in a personal vendetta, and if Chris Scott has found himself in that, it's going to be the detriment of his side.
Well, Buckley with 1 goal, kick 2. He's going for goal number 3, and he's paid the ultimate price, Chris Scott.
And Robert Wall's reacting immediately to that discretion from Chris Scott, and that's good coaching from Robert Wall. You can't allow young players with such great talent as Chris Scott has got to allow themselves to get distracted like this. And from a personal perspective, and most definitely from a team perspective, that was not right, and Nathan Buckley surely made them pay.
Margin out to 32 points for the Pies. Dion Scott in ruck, but he's beaten. Look at Williams rip it out of the middle. Danger time here once again over the top. Rocker at the back is the Doctor. Watson. At 1 behind only.
You always hit what they call red time in a game, and that's the last 5 minutes of any quarter, and we're in that now, and Brisbane are really struggling in it, while Collingwood seem to have a real surge going.
Back into play, and this time a good mark by Dion Scott. He gives it away to McLean, who runs through half-back, gets down towards the centre, and he does it nicely. Goes wide to the wing. He's got a couple of options there. Uses Hart. With him is White. Gets it across to White. Back to Hart. 60 metres out from goal. They need a goal badly. Down towards full forward. Big pack of players, but a big mark also by Richardson. Defending well. Towards Williams. Couldn't take it. Kennedy on him, but he's got to beat a couple. Kennedy does well to lock it up in the shadows of the new stand. And a bounce to take place.
We can see young Patterson there, and also Damien Monkhorst and Chrissy Curran, who played under-19s football for Richmond, but now making his mark with the Pies. And Richardson very happy to just take the ball over. Just under 2.5 minutes in the second term. A handy 33-point lead to Collingwood. Rocker's booted 3, so has Nathan Buckley. They've been the stars, and Watson up forward also with 2. Fletcher gets the ball back, overrunning the ball is young Lappin. Handball's out where Lambert pounces on the ball. The kick in front here, and out in front is Merritt. Read it well, Roger. Kicked 1, I think, Sandy, you made comment that prior to the game, 25 goals, 5. So he's had his kicking boot on all year.
Yep. And that was a great piece of work. And Craig Lamb, it's good to see him getting more ground time. It's only his first time he's played consecutive games this season, Craig Lambert.
Had a horror run, hasn't he?
So Roger Merritt, who said before the game on game day that pretty keen to coach the Brisbane Bears. Well, if he was in the coach's box, he'd be disgusted with that kick.
He'd be sending a message straight down to that player saying, get back off the mark a little bit more, son. Take half a dozen steps, get yourself well balanced and follow straight through. Don't take one step and poke.
If Roger's fair dinkum, he'd take himself off the ground.
I think you're being a little bit harsh. 5'8", plays 10-10. Collingwood surge forward again down towards centre wing, and Wright takes the mark in that position. Graham Wright has a look down towards half forward. He hugs the boundary line. He wants his skipper, Gavin Brown. He got a touch to it. He's also got support in the form of Aaron James and also Scotty Russell. Russell onto the left foot, puts them inside 50. Ahmad in front of the pack, couldn't take it. Gowes floats a hand pass clear towards McAdam. He does a 360. And he does it pretty well too. He gets them out of trouble. Back towards McIver and Krasiska, who's with him. Fletcher does the roving, gives it back to McIver. He's still in the middle. They need scores and they need a goal badly. Pushed towards the 50-metre line. Going to be kept in play by McRae. Has assistance there in Akamanis, who started on the bench. And eventually it's Kerrison. Tries to get the hand pass out. They should get out of trouble here. Hassel comes away to the centre. Krasiska's alone. And Gavin Krasiska can give it away to Graham Wright going past. Wright floats it up towards the 50. Brown on his chest and on his knees.
Wright's been damaging in this second quarter with good run from halfback.
Danger signs up for the Bears. Oh, almost the one-hander to Rowe. He tries to flick it out towards Rocker. He's close to the boundary line as Big Sav. And they swamp him in that position. No time for a bounce. It's half-time here at the Gabba. And an excellent quarter by Collingwood. In fact, they booted 7 goals 6 and restricted Brisbane to just 2 goals 3. So they have 2 goals 5, in fact, for Brisbane. They were 3-3 at a quarter time. So the Magpies, if they were concerned about the heat, have built themselves a little lead, Terry, at halftime. Whether it's enough, of course, remains to be seen.
It was most important that they do that, Sandy, because conditions, as we saw Damien Moncrief come off the spell, sitting in the dugout without his top on, are quite trying for all players. But that second quarter, 7 goals to 2, certainly has given them a commanding lead, and now looks set to be able to carry on in the second half.
So half-time here at the Gabba, repeating our scores. Collingwood 10-10-70, leading Brisbane 5-8-38.
The countdown is on to Friday nights and 4 quarters. Football like never before.
Half. The Pies lead. He's going to be up against Clark in the middle as we commence this second half. Full house here at the Gabba. And that's marvellous to see, considering the other sporting activities that are taking place in this city and state today. McLean in trouble. Tries to get it away towards Buse. Now he's forced to do the shepherding work. Pushed down towards the centre. Scott still going. It's slapped down towards the half-forward line, but it's repelled by Kent Butcher. Monkhorst gets it away. Here's ominous signs as Patterson has a look up towards the forward line. Chips towards Brown. They've got to come out and spoil him. Collingwood have the players waiting down. It's Scotty Russell tucked in the pocket. He bends it back for a wonderful goal. What a start by Scott Russell and Collingwood.
A sensational start. That Robert Walls has rung the changes through the half-time break, with Marcus Ashcroft now pitted to Nathan Buckley, Darryl White and Gilbert McAdam both to the forward line, and he would have hoped that he'd sent his side out ready to get at least the first goal, but that wasn't to be. It's Collingwood again, and it's the ability they have from their midfielders to surge forward, and this occasion Scotty Russell, who was able to run onto the ball and drag it right back.
I think it's a good move to put White on the forward line. Also McIver just gives him a little bit more firepower instead of going through Roger Merritt all the time. So Collingwood once more out of the centre. Chance for Aaron James. He needs a kind bounce. He gets it. Quick snap, he's off target. 1 point. Impressive young player, Aaron James. He can play at full back, centre half back, fill in a key role. And sitting on the bench, he can interchange by coming on, allowing Richardson to go into the ruck with Monkhorst having a rest. We see this young boy just going up and taking a grab.
They hold him in high regard. Missed the first 3 games through that disqualification that the league imposed and came straight back into the seniors without playing reserve grade football.
So Gavin Brown's had an interrupted season for the Pies. Just so important for Collingwood to have him in the side. So he centres the ball. Good fist away by the Bears at ground level. Russell gets the ball back to Watson, gets the ball back to Patterson, twists and turns. Hand passes a poor one. Russell does well to recover to Kerrison. Sharing the ball around, Krasiska out of the corner of his eye. Great vision, finds Shane Watson. Well, he's booted 2 goals, both in the second term. And Krasiska, who's had an outstanding year for the Pies, originally from Queensland, they've always been very keen to get him back here. So Watson, it's a low trajectory kick, and what a grab! The big man himself, Big Sav.
Is he okay?
So he's just hurt himself as he came down.
Gee, doesn't he throw himself up there? For a man his size, Severio Rock can certainly get up off the ground. I guess when you get up like that, you've got to come down. On that occasion, it was quite heavily. I think all he'll need is just a couple of moments to get his breath back.
I think Terry may have actually, when he took the ball, landed on the ball as he hit the ground and it went into his chest and winded him. But that's, I was talking before about the confidence of Rocker now when he attacks the ball. A bit like Wayne Carey, there's a certain aura about him that they actually go for the ball with a confidence that they can't be beaten.
Yes, I agree with that, Kevin, and a lot of that comes with the physical stature of the man. Both Carey and Rocker, very, very big men, and they need to continually to put that on show to their opponents, show that they are big and strong, they are prepared to mix it when it's necessary, but also quite prepared to launch themselves at the ball in the goal square, and that was that occasion.
So Sav Rocker kicked 3 goals in the second term. So he pops through goal number 4.
Well, the bursts continue for Collingwood. Brisbane getting the first 3 goals of the game, and then Collingwood answering with 6 consecutive goals. Brisbane 2 goals in the middle of the second quarter, and now Collingwood have come back with another 6 consecutive goals. And it's quite rewarding that Severio Rocker is the one getting onto the end of them and kicking the goals. He's now kicked 4, with his best tallies being 10 goals on 2 occasions.
And interestingly, Gowers has gone to full back, replacing Nathan Chapman. I like Gowers further out of goals. I don't see him as a key position player. Still like Dion Scott to maybe have a crack at him.
Well, we'll see what happens as Monkhorst wins it down to Williams, and Paul Williams kicks to half forward. Here they go again. The skipper has marked 45 out. He thought about going on with it, and he does. He chips into the pocket. He wanted Russell, who turned around and was almost caught unawares. A snap, another one. Oh, he's hot, the big man now. Severio Rocker has kicked 5, and Collingwood are steaming away. 13-11 plays 5-8.
This is a very impressive opening period of play from the Collingwood side in the third quarter. The question was always going to be asked of them at half-time in such warm and humid conditions as to whether they could keep going, and they've come back, and big Severio Rocker, 2 successive goals has added to the answer.
Big Severio Rocker has 5 in an excellent performance up in the forward line for Collingwood as Kennedy rips it away for the Bears. Down towards half-forward, out comes the charging Gary Pert. It ricochets away, however, goes back towards Kent Butcher, and from there, over the line. And he's not a happy camper. So a throw in Brisbane's attacking zone. At the moment, though, in this quarter, it's been all Collingwood as Monkhorst gets it away towards Gavin Krasiska. Krasiska looks up over the centre. Rowe waits at the back, but not far enough. and repelled by Chapman. Well, he had a tough ask early on in the day. Now finds Fletcher. Always put Lambert under pressure. Lambert gets the hand pass away towards Merritt. They go back again and continue to run it down through Fletcher. Buckley's in front of White.
That's impressive to see. That's impressive to see, isn't it? Nathan Buckley pushing back into the hole at centre half, back for his side, blocking up the leading Mackay over there, and able now to repel this attack.
Ashcroft has the job on him at the moment. He just comes wide and finds Kent Butcher. Butcher towards Jack Hassel. And Marcus Ashcroft comes over the top to affect the spoil. I'm sure this isn't what Robert Walls had in mind for his 300th coaching performance. Monkhorst again wins it, but straight to Voss. From a standing start, he pumps it high. Merritt just used his strength, and he out-bustled Gary Pert on that occasion and held it as if he was perhaps getting a dollied catch in the outer.
Again, the front position, Roger Merritt in all his games has known that that's been the best spot, and this time being able to take the ball cleanly in his hands.
Kicked only one so far today. That was in the second quarter. Directly in front. And he's going to be kicking from 37 metres. He's popped that straight through the middle for a much-needed goal. His second, but they've been hard to come by for the Bears today.
And the Bears have really struggled. Since that mid-term of the second quarter, they haven't had the run through the midfield that they would want. On this occasion, from a set play, from a boundary throw-in, they're able to centre the ball back in, and Merritt fulfilling his part of the bargain by being in front and kicking the goal. But the Bears now desperately were looking for more run from across their half-back line.
And we see young Nigel Lappins and Dion Scott still on the interchange bench for the Bears. Monkhorst in the ruck. Poor bounce goes to Fletcher. Dispossessed. Clark does well. Gets it across to Hart. Back to Clark. Can't get the ball cleanly out of the centre of the Bears. Now Magic McLean does. Kicks the ball long. McAdam on the half-forward line. Starting defence. Big fist away by Pert. Good strong play over the line for a boundary throw-in. Gary Pert, been one of the great players of the AFL. Clark wins the tap this time. Ground level, big pack of players. The Bears have really lacked a bit of fire in their game since the opening 10 minutes of the game when they kicked 3 goals. They were really pumped up. I think Walls will be very disappointed with the application. Monkhorst wins the tap right. Tremendous acceleration. Kicks the ball out wide, chance for Williams. Former Tasmanian to one other, but can't keep it in. So Monkhorst once more to do battle with Clark. Takes the front position. Kerrison paddling the ball long. Chapman does well to trap it. Chance for the Pies now. The kick's a poor one. And the free kick will go back to the Bears out of bounds on the full. So Scott's back onto the ground after being taken off by Robert Walls after giving away a 50-metre penalty to Nathan Buckley, and this kick's a poor one. So the kid's having a rotten day, and Paul Williams will take the resultant kick.
Williams forward of centre wing. Will put them well inside 50. Big pack of players. They want the player waiting down. Buckley was one of them, but now pressure on the Bears' defence, and they're equal to the task. Away they come. Back towards the centre. Oh, the one-hander from the monkey. It's good. Plays on to Gavin Krosiska. Shepherding sees him clear. He can go back onto that left foot from 60 metres out. It kicks a high ball in towards full forward. Rocker cuts across the pack. McLean under pressure towards the boundary line, and over it goes. So a throw in the left forward pocket in front of the scoreboard here at the Gabba. All Collingwood at the moment. They lead by 45 points. And the heat at present not affecting them in a detrimental way. McRae's kick to the outer side. Monkhorst does a little bit of shepherding for Krosiska again. He flicks it round the body and finds his teammate in Burns. Scott Burns playing his 14th game, only as far as McAdam. McAdam back in towards half forward inside 50. Courage shown by McRae. Going back with a fly to the footy. He's only small in stature, but a big heart.
That's a great example to put to his teammates there. It was always going to be a dangerous one. Eyes on the ball going back. Merritt and Pert, the two coming on to him, and the clash, but now the boy's up and ready to kick at goal.
Hasn't missed a game this year since coming from Glenelg. The left footer from 47 metres. Drop punt that looks pretty good, and he's kicked a goal. So McRae gets his first.
And been a good player right throughout in those 14 games that he's played for the Bears this year. The play starting with McAdam, the toss kick over towards the top of McRae. But McRae, Ackermanis and Trent Bartlett, the three first-year players in the side this week, and a good goal from Craig McRae.
So McLean runs onto the ball. Maybe that great mark by McRae and goal can lift the Bears. Here comes Magic McLean. Needs a bounce. Can't keep it in. Bears are not out of this game.
No, Kevin, I mean, just examples of play like that one there from McRae was tremendous, and it wouldn't take much to lift these teammates up and have them getting this surging run through the midfield again.
So we see Chapman over the top, taken away by Fletcher, starting to rack up the possessions. Long bomb, Krasiska there at the back of the pack. Good strong play by Voss over the back. McAdam gets the ball out once more. McIver just paddles the ball along, a free kick. So McIver's had a terrific year. He's gone wide. Have to bring the ball back. He's kicked 22 goals this year, Scott McIver. He's been a pinch hitter at full forward on several occasions. Started the game on the bench. Now he's on his preferred side, being a left footer. Kicking down towards the school end of the Gabba. So 2 goals in just 2 minutes would really give the Bears a tremendous boost. It's pretty warm here. We expect they'll come home. Now the ball's going to land in the square. Monkhurst gets back, building the wall. Got his fist to the ball. Richardson traps it, besieged upon. Good enough to get the ball away to Scott Russell. They're running the ball out. Good play to Burns. Comes away from the half-back line. Kicks that long bomb at the back of the pack. Strong play now by young Trent Bartlett. Gets it across to Magic McLean. Been fantastic across half-back. Voss. Low trajectory kick. Too many to beat down there for McAdam. Once more Burns, who's been a star. 13 possessions across half-back. The kick's a poor one and finds Chapman.
Nathan Chapman wants to go on with it to Michael Voss. It has been reversed for a little bit of slappity-wappity. So, that sort of turnover Robert Walls does not need. Patterson kicks down towards the half-forward line. The ball is held by Big Sav. Those arms lock around Marcus Ashcroft.
Go up there and kick it, number 2.
As the advice comes thick and fast from the boundary line. Graham Wright is there having a spell at the moment. Didn't come from the bench, it came from the crowd, which is very good today. Patterson again, but there's been a whistle. Gavin Brown will take the free kick. He's outside 50. Williams drops back into the square, but he elects to go short to Saverio Rocca. And those big hands grip it like a vice.
And great play by Nathan Buckley. He was the one that was holding the true centre half forward position. And you may just see him right at the front of the screen here as he leads, creating the gap in behind him that Saverio Rocca was able to lead in. That's great forward play from Nathan Buckley.
Well, Rocca has 5 from just 7 kicks. The Bears were so desperately looking for a run, and it could be this will stop it. It is straight through the middle. 6 goals to Rocca. Collingwood march on.
And the The real task now is to stop Severio Rocca, and I would struggle, Kevin, as the coach of the Brisbane Bears side, to find out how he would do that now. His confidence is well up, marking well, kicking very accurately. I think that's 6 goals, 1 now. He is the difference in the two sides without any doubt at all.
Well, he's on target to duplicate his performance against Adelaide when he kicked 10 goals at the MCG. He's kicked 15 goals leading in today's game, so 21 goals in 3 games. He certainly is in hot form. Still think that Dion Scott would maybe be a better option than Gowers, much bigger man. Did the job on Stewie Lowe a couple of weeks back. So once more, Collingwood into attack. Buckley there, may have been held, took the front position. Been getting a few boos from the crowd in his only season with the Bears. Came 3rd in their best and fairest, and last year, dual Copeland Trophy winner with his skipper, Gavin Brown, just having a few words there to the umpy. He might have said that might have been in need of a free kick. Lambert just dances out of the pack. Scrubby old kick down towards the edge of the square. McRae, who's been a pretty live wire player today, to Sean Hart, usually kicks the ball beautifully. This time just tumbles off his boot. So it's a race in 2. I don't think either of these will be back markers at stall as Purchase runs the ball through.
You be a hard man, Keeby.
And that's where Brisbane have fallen down a little today, around that goal square, around Roger Merritt. As we see Damien Moncourt come up again. The smalls of the Brisbane side in the forward pocket haven't been productive underneath that contest.
Kent Butcher tucked in the back pocket. Looks up towards centre wing. And a good mark taken by Richardson. But they've given away a free kick. I didn't see what it was for. Must have been a bit of pushing going on, Terry. So they can still lock it up in this forward zone. McRae at the back. But the ball eventually finishes over the line. Merritt hasn't had a major influence on the game today. He's kicked 2, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. They need a big effort down in that forward line as, again, McRae and Butcher see it over the line. In front of the Bears Social Club here at the Gabba. This ground is certainly going to take on a spectacular look towards the end of this AFL season, with the light towers set to go up. McAdam a chance. He's outside 50 as Gilbert. Now he's on 50. A drop punt is high in towards goal. Voss the flyer! Belted away from him and over the line for one behind.
They get really frustrated standing with kicks like that from deep in that pocket that hit the square. They should be tossed out now 10, 15 metres out in front, because in the square the defence is always going to spoil it through for a behind, giving the Brisbane Bears Rovers no chance at all.
Pert goes into a hole. Brown will get them out of it towards Scotty Burns. He does so effectively. Back to Richardson. Into Kerrison he goes, and Shane Kerrison from half-back's got a bit of space. Low, flat kick up towards the half-forward line. The mark taken by Aaron James. He's outside 50, but of course he's got the big guns down in the forward zone. That is where he heads. Couldn't take it. Buckley, the dangerous Nathan Buckley. Round he goes, too far. Too far, one behind.
And very unhappy with himself there, Nathan Buckley. Usually he would kick those goals. We see Robert Walls up in the stand. He's pretty disappointed so far. Side trails 52-95. Fletcher's been a superb try for the Bears. Crossed to Lambert. Badly in need of match practice.
Come on, man.
So he just screws it around looking for Ashcroft on the edge of the square out in front. Now Merritt's there. Gets his hands to the ball. Couldn't take the Sharon on the second grab. Really good strong play down there by Krasiska. McIver trying to keep the ball in. But the Collingwood defence has been absolutely superb today. Now they've got a paddock, loose men everywhere. So it's been picked up here by Buckley once more. He's got all the time in the world to find James. He's going to play on. Will he kick a bomb? He has. A great kick, Aaron James.
Well, a great piece of play there from the Collingwood side, and all from the defence. Kevin, in your call there, you remarked how good the defence has been. Pert has been solid, Krasiska good, Richardson always steady, and they found Buckley with the space across the centre of the ground, and he has worked very good from wing to wing, creating that. James finishes it off.
Sensational goal from Aaron James. So the Pies certainly maintaining their grip on this game as Hassel gets a short kick down towards the half-forward line. McLean has tried desperately hard all day. Picks it up now and flicks it towards centre wing where Chapman takes the mark. Goes on with the job, but that is what the Brisbane Bears have ahead of them. Voss, a big job too if they have any chance. Inside 50, Lambert couldn't take it with the one hand. Over the top comes the hand pass towards Richardson from Scotty Russell and over the line. So a throw in to take place. Richardson comes across to contest the throw in with Clark. Ahmat has it held by Voss. Down they go.
Great day for Robbie Ahmat. Sandy playing his first game and looks like being in a winning side up here in Brisbane. Very
pretty well too.
Player. It looks very good.
Richardson and Clark again. Johnny Hassel this time sees it over the line.
And to think Gilbert McAdam was one of his boyhood idols, and Michael McLean, it's really fitted in for Robert to be able to play his first game here at the Gather.
Michael McLean's wife is his cousin. I'm going to go deep into the history. However, Burns finds Krasiska, and here he is. Ahmat's away on centre wing. He blasts in towards the forward line. A good low pass. Mark almost taken by Buckley, but it's Ashcroft who defends. Gives it away, and they're out of trouble towards the outer side. Only as far as Williams. He twists and turns, and he's held, said the umpire. Didn't have the football, so he's got a free kick. Goes over the centre, up towards half forward. Watson didn't hold it at the first attempt, picks it up with the second and goes with the left foot. Inside 50, no one able to take it cleanly. All Collingwood though in that scoring zone at the moment. Flick round the body. Oh, it's a goal! It is a goal! Shane Watson, well, he kicked a couple in the second quarter, but that one was a beauty. Watson has 3 and Collingwood steaming away.
What a great goal for Watson here as he slotted into this forward line so very well in the absence of Dermot Brereton. He has a look there. You could see with his eyes, checked the goals, tossed it up, and the bounce straight through. A very good return. 3 goals as a half-forward flanker. He's been very creative right throughout the afternoon.
Pretty impressive display today by Collingwood after their poor effort against North Melbourne. Richardson in the ruck. Punched forward by Russell, taken here by Trent Bartlett, gets it across to Lambert, onto the right boot. It's a wobbly old kick to the half-forward line. And Chrissy Curran on the ground there for Collingwood. Youngster started his career at Richmond in the under-19s. So Richardson, the 216s against Clark. White with a big leap from behind, taken by McIver. Quick snap. It's off target, just 1 point. Originally from Fitzroy, of course, one of best and fairest there. Came from Queensland. Been up here for a long time now. He's had a pretty good year, but always suffered from injuries. As we see Kerrison, known as Kero, takes the mark, plays on. Robbie Ahmat. Been a very good debut and a beautiful long kick. Rowe went up from behind. But Collingwood doing all the attacking. There's young Trent Bartlett from Deloraine playing his second game of league football. Had a run last week against the Cats, this week against the Pies. So big moment for those young boys. Lambert needed a kind bounce. It went across to Russell, gave it across to Hassel.
Gee, they're kicking them from everywhere.
And Johnny Hassel down from the back lines kicked his first goal.
Well, Collingwood really did need a good performance here today, and they've set it up in the first half following their loss last week to North Melbourne, which was quite in different form following the Adelaide win the Friday night prior at the MCG. But things have gone well here today to the extent that even the back pocket now, Johnny Hassel sneaking down to pick up a goal.
Collingwood has kicked 14 of the last 18 goals. It's been an excellent performance. McLean picks it up and flicks it round his body to half forward. And in front this time, taking a good mark, is Scott McIver. Careful, Gavin Krasiska. McIver goes close to the man on the mark. Here comes Merritt. Within is Perth. At the back is Richardson. And over the line he goes.
Pose this question to you, Terry. I've always had a feeling that sides don't perform that well when there's talk about the coach not being there the following year with a number of games to go in a season. Might make a comment about that in a moment.
Fletcher can't get it away cleanly. Kerrison's given away a free kick though. He didn't have the football. So with just under 3 minutes remaining, the Bears have a chance to build on this score of 7 goals, 11. Jason Ackermanis to take it after this infringement. As you can see there, Kerrison applying the tackle to Jason. He didn't have the ball. So Ackermanis will be kicking from some 40 metres out, but almost directly in front. Into a very, very slight breeze. Long run up. Floating drop punt. And he breaks the ice for the Bears. Ackermanis gets his first. And that is Brisbane's 8th. They're 8-11, trailing Collingwood 17-12.
And Jason Ackermanis is one of the young players that Robert Walls is working with at the moment. And yes, it can be quite disturbing, Kevin, I think, when the coach's intentions for the coming year are declared nice and early. We saw Fitzroy last year with Robert Walls giving 4 weeks' notice and his side there capitulating away. We certainly hope that the same doesn't occur here with the Brisbane Bears. But Jason Ackermanis, one of the young players who has done very well under Robert Walls' coaching.
Yes, I can remember also Ron Barassi at Melbourne and also at North Melbourne. I just feel that just might take the edge off the players, knowing that the coach won't be there next year. So Bartlett out of the centre square. Big bomb, backing back is Richardson. Got a bad bounce. Merritt does well to tap it back. One experienced player to the other, McIver. The kick's a poor one. Good play by Krasiska, just thumps the ball back over the line. Shane Russell there, patting on the back.
But I'm also sure, Kevin, that Robert Walls would not have wanted it to be a public knowledge that he was looking to finish at the end of the year if he could have avoided it.
So Russell once more. Just taps the ball forward. The Bears really making hard work to win clean possessions. Ackermanis, who's just kicked a goal. Robbie Armat dives on top of the ball. And a little bit of an altercation down there between Kerrison and Ackermanis. So just under a minute and a half in this third term. It's been a great quarter for the Pies. And we see the umpire having a little bit of a chat to Mark Richardson. Might have a little bit of blood on his nose, maybe. Clark gets it out there with quick hands to McIver, taken by Richardson. Quick kick, hugging the boundary line. Hart there takes it over. Once more, we've got a boundary throw in. So 17-12, 114 Collingwood, Brisbane 8-11, 59. Once more, ball forced over, and considering their great effort last week, only going down by 13 points to Geelong, it's been a pretty disappointing effort by the Bears so far.
Yes, they would have opened with some degree of favouritism up here. The loss of Richard Champion certainly has dampened their ability to be able to counter this good Collingwood forward line.
So Hassel with that quick kick back to the centre square. Chance coming through strongly. This is Patterson, the kid from Norwood. It's been a good pick-up this year for the Pies. Out in front, Buckley. Great double take.
Very good work.
It's been great this year, particularly in the last few weeks. Booted 3 goals, 1 in the first quarter, 2 in the second. Only 20 seconds to go, so Buckley there indicating he wants to kick the ball long. Pop it up in the air for Sav Rocker because he's already kicked 6. 3 in this term are big bomb. Rocker's there, got his hands up, couldn't quite get the fingers on the ball, and Buse does well to just force it over for 1 point.
Here he is, front position again, and Nathan Buckley does have a good vertical jump about him. He's able to get up there and then in the front position control the ball down.
So from the kick out, Richardson goes up for the Pies as the siren sounds the end of the third term. So the Pies 17-13 as we see the Mark Richardson and Gavin Brown getting a pat on the back. Chris Siska, pretty happy lot there for the Pies. 17-13, 1-15 to the Bears, 8-11-59.
Set to go the final quarter here in Brisbane. Collingwood in charge. Brisbane needing an absolute miracle there to get back in it. Clark wins it out of the centre. It is Ashcroft who kicks a high ball down towards half forward. Big pack of players and a lot of black and white there to defend. Wright goes through, just tried to push the ball along. It's held up on the 50-metre line and will have a bounce. Merritt picks up his teammate Gilbert McAdam, who had the football. The players have been disappointing for the Bears today, though. Fletcher did the ruck work on that occasion. Comes out the back door to Lambert. He flicks it round his body. He's had a wretched season with injury. And he'll be hoping this is really, well, it's his second game back, and I guess it's a mini season for him, Terry, isn't it?
It is.
Hoping to play out the year.
Yes, definitely. It's interesting. This is his first game at the Gabba for the year, and he is very much looking towards the remaining part of the year to make an impact and run himself into good form.
Grasiska flicks it over the back towards Williams, who got a push, said the umpire. Stabs it in towards the middle of the ground. Collingwood looking very good. Curran's on the ground. Got it away and now goes down towards Rocker. Tried a clever little tap. Put his teammate in Stephen Patterson under a ton of pressure, and he's been beaten for holding the ball. So McLean comes out wide to Fletcher. He's probably leading in their best and fairest. Adrian Fletcher's had an excellent year. Floats it up towards centre wing. McIver is there. Voss is wide. And Voss swings it up towards half forward. McAdam couldn't take it. Back again it comes towards McRae. Couple of Bears fighting for it. The Lambert is there, and in the end, a free kick is going against Brisbane, and it's going to be taken by Nathan Buckley, who's had a day out against his old side.
Yes, and he's also booted 3 goals. Gets it across to Wright. With good disposal, he finds Williams. So Wright and Williams and Buckley, 3 of Collingwood's best players. And that's a beautifully weighted kick, but unfortunately for Collingwood, 2 always beats 1, so Clark takes it away for the Bears. And back at centre for Roger Merritt. He's kicked 2 goals today. He's been moved out. So he kicks a long bomb into the square. Back of the pack there, McIver. Can't run onto the ball. Here's a chance now for McRae. A left footer, not quite adept on his right foot to kick that snap. So we see Dion Scott down there along with Kennedy, and also young Nigel Lappin sitting in the dugout for the Bears. It's Gary Pert about to bring the ball back into play. Been impressive by the Pies today. It's not easy to come up to Brisbane when it's a hot day, and the Bears in pretty good form considering their effort against the Cats last week. So Krasiska. Been good all year. Good again today with 14 possessions. So big Clark over the top at ground level, pounced on there by Brown, gets it across to Monkhorst. Read it well across to Patterson onto the left boot. Chance for big Rocco somehow. Great play. Take the VC, Sean Hart, chipping in front of the big man down there, taken away by Hart again. Out here to Buse. So Buse feeds it off quickly to McLean. Drops the ball. Went to hand pass, lost control, so Patterson. This opens it up now for the Pies. Brown can run all the way. Kick a goal, Gavin Brown. Long bomb's on its way, and the skipper has drilled it.
Well, very important game here for Gavin Brown after returning last week, missing 1 week with a calf injury, and has only played 4 out of the last 10 games. So it hasn't been a year that Gavin Brown will look fondly back onto in terms of injury. But what a player he is. He's a tremendous captain, a very courageous player. Great run there, great kick, great goal.
Margin now out to 61 points, a percentage builder for Collingwood. Brown gets his first. One of 9 goal kickers for the Maggies, as Monkhorst prepares to do battle in the middle once again with Clark. It's won by the latter, down to Fletcher, but they pounce upon him. The tackling's been good, although this time the umpire said it was in the back. So Adrian Fletcher, one of the nomads of football, but seems to have settled down here, been at Geelong, St Kilda. Goes up towards half forward. Scotty Russell defends. He sweeps the handball wide. Gavin Brown's just kicked a goal, and there he is on the half back line, going up towards Patterson on right half forward, over his head and over the boundary line. Well, they've got the Hawks here next week, Brisbane. So tough run for them.
Yes, it is. Adrian Fletcher's one player. He'll look towards his 100th game of AFL football next week against Hawthorn. Would like to do well in it, and it's a very good achievement from a man from Hobart who people said wouldn't even get one game of league football early in his career.
My word. On the outer side once again. And Chris Scott to bring it back into play. Well, Collingwood may be celebrating, so too will South Australia, because they were successful in the Commonwealth Bank Teal Cup. Very, very good performance by South Australia in that, as we watch McAdam now get caught by Butcher, but the hand pass comes away only to Shane Kerrison. Kerrison bounces through the centre, kicks up towards Rucker. Couldn't take the mark. The ball spills to ground. The Pies have got the numbers. Shot out towards Patterson. Patterson leads in the race, but only for a moment. McLean is caught. Play goes on. Hughes at the bottom. A cry of ball, and now he's picked one up. Some hanging on. It'll be taken by Gowes, the back pocket. Goes short, finds Ackermanis. Yes, I was talking about that Commonwealth Bank Teal Cup, South Australia defeating Vic Metro 15-8 to 10-10. Good performance, KB.
Yes, and a young star, Paul Evans, for South Australia, booted 9 goals, so no doubt the league scouts will have their eyes on him, as we see Monkhorst just rips the ball away. But we've got a ball up. It's important for the Pies to get the 4 points today. They've got a tough draw. They play Carlton next, then West Coast, Essendon, Hawthorn, Richmond, and then Sydney at the SCG. So a very, very tough draw.
Yes, so much depends on other matches, of course. West Coast and Footscray later on today. That's a vital one for the Doggies.
And doesn't percentage become so important in this rush for that final 8th position in the finals?
So the Pies are certainly getting that today. Clark gets the ball out there towards Lambert, but Kerrison just forces it over. And a bit of a wry smile also from Shane Kerrison. Played in Collingwood's famous 1990 premiership win. Came into the side when Alan Richardson had to pull out the day before. So Monkhorst on the half-back flank. Now Trent Bartlett comes out, got one in the back for mine, not paid. Oh, Gavin Brown copped a hard one. Buckley comes out, great vision, gets it back to Bartlett, gives the ball across to Scott. So out of the half-back line, Voss with the ball. His dad played under-19s for the Tigers. Now he gets it back from Hart, then rakes the hand pass to Scott. They're running the ball all the way to Hart, who's usually a magnificent kick from 50. Hart's kick's on its way. He's kicked a goal. Well, he's kicked 3 goals, Sean Hart, 1 in the first term, 1 in the second quarter, and then that good goal then.
And that's the best piece of play the Bears have put on since early in the game. Quite prepared there to spin it round with handballs. There was anything up to 8 handballs involved in creating the free run of Sean Hart, and again on the run, didn't let them down for his 3rd goal.
Back in the middle once again after that great goal from Hart. He's got 3 and they go charging forward once again, Brisbane. This time through the agency of Trent Bartlett. Down towards the half-forward line, and Chris Siska soccers off the ground to the defensive 50. In front of the scoreboard here at the Gabba that shows Collingwood well in command. 18-13 to 9-12. Monkhorst and Clark to do battle once again. McAdam on all fours. Richardson with him. And a free kick is going against the Magpie defender. Gilbert is going to have a shot. He hasn't missed a game this year. And Rogers having plenty to say. Just checking on a couple of formalities. So McAdam to have a shot. Relatively quiet day by his standards. 10 possessions as he shoots from in front of the scoreboard here at the Gabba and has missed. One behind. (9-13), 18-13, 54 points the margin favouring the Pies. Pert brings it back into play to himself, comes out of the shadows now, and away they go. Butcher on the outer side, floats it up over centre wing, a big pack of players. Scott was a flyer from behind. That was Chris Scott, the young Norwich Rising Star winner, but he couldn't take the mark, and it's bottled up on that outer side for a bounce. Scotty Russell at the bottom of the pack. In the veteran class now, playing his 118th game, Scotty Russell, after coming across the border from South Australia. Marcus Ashcroft. And another throw-in. Gavin Brown picks himself up. Crowd excellent today, and yes, that sign just about does sum it up, because they've been pretty hot, the Pies, as Rowe tries to flick one over the back. Not successful. Buckley's tackling has been fierce. McLean has tried hard. Round the body he goes, and Adrian Fletcher takes a fine mark on the outer wing. But it's going against him. I didn't see what happened. He took the mark, but the ball has been brought back. And Gavin Krasiska is going to take the free kick on the outer wing, KB.
Yes, and you mentioned Michael McLean. He has been a great player today. Always runs the ball out, always uses the ball well. Krasiska, beautiful raking left foot kick. Looking for Aaron James up from behind. Just couldn't quite take it. Got the ride. Brad Rowe back on the ground. Back to Patterson. Shrugged off the tackle, but carries the ball over the line. See Gabby Allen and also Alan McCullers there. Look at Michael McLean, just letting him know that he still means business to Patterson. So James in the ruck for the Pies, beaten by Bartlett. Rowe with a short kick. McLean just fends off. James gets the ball across. And the ball, unfortunately, is kicked out of bounds on the full. So Krasiska to take another kick. 18 possessions to Gavin Krasiska. So he kicks into the territory down here of Watson. From behind, Scott goes up. Fantastically talented young player. Had an off day today. He's been benched. But that was a great mark, and he finds McIver. Actually, he looked pretty good playing on the forward line a few weeks back, young Scott, when he booted 5 goals. McIver kicks the ball to the half forward line for the Bears, looking for White. Ground level. McAdam. It's been caught, held on to. Play on. Monkhorst does well, just with force gets it out, but Lambert does well to get it to McRae. Gets the ball back here to McAdam, can give it back to McRae, who's quick onto that left boot. Quick snap at goals. It's bouncing. Bounces on the line. Pert does the hippie shake. Comes away and kicks out wide. Tremendous play by Pert. Robbie Armat, can he trap the ball and keep it in? He does.
He does, and you're showing your age, KB. Going back with the hippie shake as Armat in his first game pops it in towards the half back line. Graham Wright takes the hand pass from his teammate there in Chris Curran, and Wright is away. To the outer side he goes. Collingwood can set something up here. Hassel will take the hand pass. He runs down towards half forward, gets around Clark, gives it back to Gavin Krasiska. Krasiska's had an excellent day. He goes into full forward. Big pack of players. Gowers on the last line of defence gets the hand pass away to Hart. Williams can't get there in time to affect the spoil. His kick goes back towards the half-back line. But here he is again. Gavin Krasiska, one of the best on the ground today. In towards half-forward. Kick drops short. Hart always shows a ton of courage, but that one was short as well. Buckley, just about best man on the ground. Is this another one? Just misses to the right. And one behind.
Not trying to influence the vote giving, Sandy, are you there?
I know you're doing that. And I would never try and influence you, but Buckley has been very, very busy today.
He has right throughout. Krasiska sound across half-back all day. Collingwood have had the answers every time Brisbane have mounted a challenge.
So a free kick going to Brisbane. Young Trent Bartlett, just his second game of league footy. So he's got it all in front of him. Kicks up where we see a high rise down there was Darryl White. The free kick is going back to Collingwood. Brad Rowe, no, Kent Butcher it is, getting up off the ground. Started his career with the Cats. Started his career there.
No doubt about that one. The tackle quite high.
So Butcher just kicks the ball back where out came Aaron James, tapped down by Clark across to Lambert, gave it to Buckley, off to McLean, always carrying the ball out of defence, kicks to some space, out comes Merritt, got a shove. So big Darryl White it is, in fact, will take the free kick from being pushed. In fact, he took the mark, I think, in front of Roger, who got a push, but he has paid the mark. Just a poor day for Darryl White, just the 6 possessions and 2 marks.
But he, like so many others, KB, for the Bears, started in lightning fashion, didn't they?
Well, they had the first 3 goals on the board before Collingwood had a major.
So Darryl White breaks through for his first goal, and the Bears 10th. They had 10-13 trailing Collingwood 18-14.
Well, Darryl White is a player that can play at either end of the ground, and here he started the day in defence and now being moved into the forward line, and a very athletic player. 3 weeks ago against North Melbourne, a great last quarter with 4 goals. A little bit late this time.
Centre bounce once again, and it's Buckley in the thick of things. He swings round onto the left foot and kicks down towards the half-forward line. Collingwood, some very positive signs for the Pies today. Oh, Scotty Russell on the outer side. He's 55 out. He goes short, and it's beautiful to Watson. Just too strong, too classy today, the Maggies. Right screaming for it, but he elects to go back and go long. Watson with a drop punt, pops it up towards Rocker territory. Richardson! A push, however, said the umpire. There was a push, and Richardson
doesn't know.
He does now. Not too happy with it, but they're out of trouble. McLean takes it away from the back pocket. Magic Mickey McLean up towards the half-back line. The flyer again was Aaron James. Couldn't hold the mark. Buckley knocked up getting possessions. Floating hand pass for Graham Wright. Put him under the hammer a bit. May have to go back to Buckley. Graham Wright still going under pressure. Eventually almost socket away. Well played by Wright though to lock it up in that position. Butcher gets pushed as he took a kick. It may be relayed down the ground, or will it come back? It's going to come back. Butcher's saying why not take it down the ground, but it's going to be brought back. He's outside 50.
Well, the umpire elected to pay the free kick because he felt he was pushed just before he kicked the ball. That could be debatable.
Yep. Butcher, low flat kick. Chris Scott, well, he took a sensational mark minutes ago, dropped that one. Pressure now on Bartlett. His hand pass is afloat. It goes back to him again from Fletcher. Hart gets it away to Lambert, and Lambert a little bit of time to steady. Looks up towards McLean. He just drags it in nonchalantly with the one hand. Did it beautifully. They're out of trouble.
He gives it off to Sean Hart, who's also battled pretty hard for the Bears today, up towards the half-forward line. The stumbling block up there all day has been Krasiska. Here he is on the screen. He's been fantastic. And the ball goes over for a boundary throw-in. 21 possessions to Gavin Krasiska. He's taken 5 marks. So Clark wins the tap, the front of the pack. Butcher's there for the Pies. Once more, boundary throw-in. See Paul Williams having a rest along with Kerrison on the interchange bench. And also young Burns, who did very well across half-back in the first half for the Pies. So Ashcroft with a quick kick into the forward line. Out comes Merritt, tries to tap the ball on. McIver just not quick enough to get to there, and Krasiska once more puts the body in. And Scotty McIver with the hands on the hip. Just shake of the head. What do we have to do? So Clark just shrugs off Monkhorst, takes it out of the ruck, kick a goal, Matty. Quick snap across the face of goals. And in fact, it's been deemed out of bounds. It's hit the point post for a boundary throw-in. So the Brisbane Bears crowd be pretty unhappy with the performance today of the locals, as Monkhorst elects this time to just thump the ball through for 1 point. It's a sold-out game today at the Gabba. Of course, when they get the new stand built, it'll be a magnificent spectacle up here, but certainly a poor effort today by the Bears.
Yes, you're right. They will go home disappointed because it was a sellout. It's been a sellout since Wednesday of this week. And I think the expectations were so high. But, of course, Collingwood is a club with a magnificent drawing power as Butcher hugs the boundary line and finds Monkhorst in front of the new stand area. He drifts it up towards centre wing. Aaron James trying to spoil, but is not successful, and that's a very good mark by Trent Bartlett. Only his second game, and a great future for that young man hopefully in store. But his kick goes back to Butcher. Marks on half-back and looks to the outer side of the ground. Sneaks away from Gilbert McAdam. It slews off the side of the boot, but a perfect pass, we'll say, to Gary Pert. Give him the benefit of the doubt. When things are going right for you, they certainly do. He kicks up towards centre wing Richardson. Good, strong grab. Aaron James calling for it. He too is off the side of the boot. That's going to go very close to going out, but Rowe in front marks, and we'll look down towards this potent forward line today. It also is off the side of the boot and finds Chris Scott. Well, it's like our golf, KB. Somewhat erratic.
Speak for yourself.
Scott, I've seen you. Back towards the half-back line, although you are playing very well at the minute by all reports. Locked up almost in the middle of the ground. And the umpire says, no, you've held it too long. You had a chance to get rid of it. Brad Rowe can take a free kick.
Lee Matthews would be keen to finish off with 2 or 3 goals in these last couple of minutes, really to ram home the percentage advantage his side's getting.
Yes, just over 4 minutes remaining. Rowe kicks towards half-forward. Richardson in front's got the chance now. Good one-grab mark.
He started the game so very well at centre half forward, was prepared to hold the front position just as he does here. That's his 8th mark for the afternoon, and he's really been able to allow a fine structure to be put together by Lee Matthews in this forward line for Collingwood.
Goalless to date and kicking from 50 metres, just inside. Now he's on the board. So Richardson gets his first. And here's the advice of Terry Wheeler. Let's look at that percentage.
Well, if I had a calculator, I'd try and work it out now, but I can't. And,
KB would probably do it in his head.
But they're really pounding it along. It's been a very good performance. They've come back from last Friday night's performance so very well.
Well, Richardson's a very important player in the Collingwood setup. If they're going to go far this year, as Buckley out of the centre square, Gowers out in front, attack the ball. Picked up by Buse, gets it back to Gowers, has to head for the safety of the boundary line. He's got Akamanis, quickest player on the Bears list, gets there first. So now he sends the ball to Bartlett, who I think's got a terrific future. He's been very impressive today. Big lump of a kid, pretty mobile, kicks up here. That's a bad kick, one-on-one duel. No good kicking short to a contest, might as well kick long, but Fletcher takes it. Once more, his kick's a shocker. White tries to trap it. McAdam picks up a bit of magic. Can he kick a goal? Yes, he can. And at last, the Bears kick one.
Well, Gilbert McAdam's been a very good player here for the Brisbane side over the years that he's been up here from his St Kilda debut, and continually works at it hard. A half-back flanker, or as he is in this part of the game, a half-forward flanker. He's got some great skills. He'd be disappointed with today's performance. He was one player who had good form coming into it and was looking forward to really pushing the Pies along, but unable to do it this afternoon.
Just a couple of minutes remaining here at the Gabba. Collingwood working on percentage. Brisbane trying to get some respectability as young Bartlett gets the hand pass away towards McLean, put him under a bit of pressure. Chapman couldn't take it cleanly. Bartlett went in with strength. Richardson off the ground, down towards the half-forward line. Patterson caught by Hart. Spills free to Scott, who gives it to McLean. Look out, Magic, you're gone. So they continue to tackle pretty hard. Richardson lopes away, but his hand pass drops short to Scott, who gives it back to McLean. Wider to Hart, and from the half-back line, Hart goes towards centre wing. Butcher was there, so too McRae, working hard close to the boundary line, and finally over on that outer side. 128 plays 80. So the margin back to 48 points. It was at one stage out to almost 60. Curran flicks it forward towards centre wing for Collingwood. I'd like to finish with a couple. Bradgrove at the bottom of the pack, and on that outer side, Marcus Ashcroft. His hand pass smothered, and in fact it ricocheted off the boot and went out of bounds on the full. So Lee Matthews prepares to greet his charges. Ashcroft to take it. He kicks up towards left half forward in what has been a disappointing performance for the Brisbane Bears today. Maybe they could finish with something here. In towards full forward. McAdam was there. He couldn't take it. May get another chance as he charges towards the football. Look at Collingwood. They've got the numbers though, and they just lock it up. And the veteran Gary Pert comes away. Played by Purdy. To half-back, he's got Scott Russell, almost down to centre wing. Russell's got players going past. One of them is Graham Wright. And away he goes Wright. Up towards half-forward. Just stabs it towards Stephen Patterson. Back to Wright again for another possession. From a standing start, he pumps it long. They need a mark. They want Savrock or Richardson. One of the marks of the day from Mark Richardson. Game number 25 for the youngster, and he's kicking for his second goal inside the last minute of the game.
This is a very good mark. Rocker seemed to be the one with the favoured position, but then in comes Richardson from the side. A great jump, rising right above all opponents there to take it at its highest point. Great mark.
Directly in front. This is where he kicked his last. Perhaps a fraction further out. Flat-looking drop punt. Now that was not pretty off the boot. Not pretty at all. One behind. Should have been a goal from that spot. So they moved to 19-15 to 11-14. Gowes to bring it back into play. Under 30 seconds remaining. Good kick to the outer side by Gowes. Richardson is the effective spoiler. Ashcroft tries to sneak away, but he gets caught. Gets the hand pass to McAdam. It's stolen by Buckley. Best on ground performance today by Nathan Buckley. Back towards Richardson, and he takes it. Going with the flight of the football. Lumbers away. Plays on towards Rocker. Gowes spoils towards the boundary line. It's all over. Victory to Collingwood, and big winners too, although they only kicked a couple of goals in the last quarter. In fact, they were outscored because the Bears booted 3. But it wasn't enough for Brisbane as they went down by 49 points.